Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be finally featuring the Bejewelled Eyes to Hypnotize palette. This is what that gorgeous box looks like. And then on the top you have the color scheme. And then this is that beautiful palette. And then on the inside, you've got that typical Charlotte Tilbury setup. That comes with this little plastic, which just tells you how to wear the shades. You don't have to follow the grid if you don't want to. And then here is the Eyes to Hypnotize palette. This palette is so gorgeous. I mean, on camera, it doesn't pick up the dimensions of all these shades. And you really, when you look at it, you can't see it until you've swatched it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pick up my hair, just, you know, get it out of my face. You know the drill. And then we're gonna get started. So on my face, I have my Bare Minerals original foundation. You guys have seen these pots 1,000 times. And the original mineral veil. That's what I've got on my face. I also did prime my face this morning with the Too Faced Hangover primer. This is like their travel size version. And then for, I haven't applied anything else just because I did want to demo the recent Airbrush Bronzer I purchased from Charlotte Tilbury. So I thought this video would be the best time. So I got the color 2 medium, in case you guys were wondering. This compact is massive, okay? Could barely fit it in my hand. And in the back, it's got like this little thing right here where you can just repurchase the refill and you keep the compact, which I think is genius. So I'm gonna be using my Real Techniques 227 light layer powder brush. These are the new Real Techniques brushes that recently came out, and I'm gonna just apply it with this brush because this bronzer is significantly darker than the one in her dual palette that comes with the bronzer and the highlight. Bronze and Glow, I think it's called. Her Star Bronze and Glow palette. So I wanted to use something with a lighter layer, like, you know, a brush that would pick up a light amount, because you guys know that I like my bronzer very subtle. I don't like something super in your face. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and do the edge of my forehead. So the bronzer is definitely pigmented, and I totally recommend you guys picking up one of these 227 brushes. I think it was like $7 at Ulta, but you can get them at Target now. I have a couple mirrors here because the viewfinder is a bit small, and I can't always see small details on my face. All right, so get a close-up. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop now. You guys ever get bronzer happy? You just keep going. Yeah, sometimes you gotta know when to stop. All right, so I applied a light layer of the bronzer. Next, I'm gonna go in with my Real Techniques blush brush. And I'm gonna be using the blush from Bare Minerals called the Guest List. It's a part of this little palette I've been using lately, so I'm just gonna apply a little bit of that. onto the apples of my cheeks. And I have to smile like this because I don't really have predominant cheekbones. So this is the only way I can get them to pop out so I know where they are. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit palette. This is the unlocked one. And I'm gonna be using my Real Techniques 402 brush. This is the setting brush, but I'm using it as a highlighting brush. And I'm just gonna use the only highlight shade in this palette. And I'm going to apply that to the very small cheekbones that I have. And you only need a little bit of this because this highlight goes a long way. All right, now let's get into the eyeshadow. So I'm gonna be demoing all 4 looks, and we're gonna go ahead and start off with Happy Glow, which is the first trio. And I'm gonna do this how I did the Pillow Talk one. You guys seem to really like that method. I'm going to follow her grid. So the first brush I'm gonna use is an IT Cosmetics All Over eyeshadow brush. And I'm going to go ahead and apply that first shade all over the lid. I'm just gonna apply it all over the lid first. I'm not gonna take it up to the brow bone because I don't know how pigmented this is. I've never played with this palette, so. All right, so that color is pretty pigmented, but I can diffuse it all the way to the brow bone ever so lightly. Just because it's pigmented, but like I'm not adding. So the way I'm adding the shadow is I'm starting off on the lid and then I am bringing it up. I'm gonna zoom you guys in. Okay, I think that's much better. So I'm placing the color on the lid and I'm really blending that in, and with whatever I have left in the brush, I've just been bringing it up into this area. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing to the other eye. All right. So it looks to me like you can apply any of these shades with your fingers, and I think that if I would have applied this initial shade with my finger, it would have been really dark, really pigmented. Sorry about that. I had to fix my curtains. So I've just applied that initial shade all over the lid, and then with whatever I had left on the brush, I just diffused it onto the brow bone. Back to where I was. All right. Now I'm gonna go in with an IT Cosmetics crease brush, and I'm gonna go into that matte shade right there, that middle shade, and I'm gonna use that to enhance. Is that what number 2 says? Yes, it says enhance. And I'm gonna go in very lightly because it's a matte shade, and her matte shades are insanely pigmented. So I'm just adding that to the crease. I'm sorry about my dog in the background. And you can already see how pigmented this is because I have literally just lightly, ever so lightly, swiped my brush in there. And then we're just blending that into the crease. Let me get a little bit more on the other side. And then I'm gonna go in with a smudger brush with this same shade. It's really pretty. Where's my smudger brush? All right, I'm gonna be using a cosmetics brush. This is just a smudger brush. Again, I'm gonna go into that middle shade right there. And I'm going to concentrate that on the outer corner right here. Let's do the same thing to the other side. And then I'm gonna use whatever's left on the brush and I'm going to drag that just on the outer corner of my lower lash line. Just to give it a little something. Okay. Now, I'm gonna try using this last shade with a brush, but this is supposed to be the smoke shade. So we're gonna use the same crease brush and I'm going to apply that on top of that brown. Let's see what happens. Interesting. So although it's a gold, when you mix it with that transition shade, it creates this beautiful coppery sensation on the eye. I'm telling you, the camera is not gonna pick up on the dimension of these shadows, these shimmery sort. I can't say they're metallic per se, they're just shimmery in a way. This is a really beautiful soft glam look. I really like that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my finger on that. Look at that. Just, can we just admire that for a second? See if my camera's gonna focus. Do you see that beautiful, like, foiled look? I'm just gonna apply that to the center of the lid. And then to the other eye, because I picked up quite a bit. Okay. My gosh, look at that. It's truly amazing. So I'm gonna use that first brush that I used to dip into that first shade. And I'm just gonna get whatever, you know, I'm not adding any more product, but I'm just using it to kind of blend this inner portion of the eye. Perfect. Now let's go in with some eyeliner, mascara, all that jazz. I'll be right back. All right, so I have applied some Charlotte Tilbury brow gel in I think this is Universal Brunette. It's just the brown shade. I applied some Chanel eyeliner to my waterline on the bottom. This is in color 69 Clair. And then I just applied some black eyeliner to my top lashes, and I used my 4-in-1 eyes and lip pencil from Clarins. And For mascara, I use the Pillow Talk Push Up Lashes Mascara just to my top lashes. Now let's get into lips. I'm going to be applying Lip Cheat and Iconic Nude. And I thought it would, I had something in my eye. I thought it would be appropriate to pair this look with the color Very Victoria. I think this lip liner matches that lipstick perfectly. So I'm just putting a nice little thick line. This is a beautiful nude brown. I love it. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with Very Victoria. I'm gonna apply just a little bit more. And there you have it. This is the first completed look. And I really, this color that I use with my finger, this is one of her new formulas. This color right here is one of her new formulas, guys. It's really crazy. It's like, it's almost creamy, but it's not. It's a powder. I don't know. And it's not a metallic. It's kind of a foiled kind of look. And when you mix it with that center matte shade, I don't know, it turns the color into this beautiful coppery gold goodness. But yeah, I don't know why I'm coming off so white on camera. I have really tried. The light is a little bit weird today. I've been playing with the blinds. But anyway, you get the gist of this overall look. And now let's move on to the second look in this palette, which would be Love Glow. I'm going to start off with that first shade, which is, this pink shade. Please don't pay attention to my nails because I haven't done them. And we're just gonna apply that all over the lid as the prime shade. And I'm only just putting it on the lid right now because I'm not sure exactly how pink this is gonna show up on my skin. And we all know that Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadows are super pigmented. All right, so it's not that bad. So I'm just gonna take it all the way up to the brow bone. Just gonna put it all over the eye. All over the eye. And then just do the same thing to the other side. So I hope everybody's Thanksgiving was great. Mine was okay. I'll be doing some life updates soon. I just had to zoom you in really quick because I wanted you all to see that color. So it's very light, very, you know, just a soft wash of color. It's a very soft nude pink. So then I'm gonna go in with my MAC 286 brush and I'm gonna go into the middle shade, which is this pink reddish shade. Going in with a very light hand because it seems super dark and loud. So I'm just using this as a transition shade. And I am right, just a little bit. I barely dipped my brush into that shade. And look how much color I have on the lid already. So I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. And by the way, for those of you who don't own any of her long palettes like this, the mirror on this is great. I find myself using it all the time when I'm using her palettes. All right, so I've used the middle shade as a transition shade. Now I'm gonna go into that red matte color, and I'm gonna use that as the smoke shade, and I'm just gonna concentrate that on the outer corner. And I'm using the same brush. I'm just placing the color first because I'm not exactly sure how crazy this is gonna be. Now, a lot of people said that this red matte shade would swatches very patchy, but I'm gonna tell you something. It shows up great on the eye. And it blends out really nicely. As you can see, like, it has totally become one with that transition shade I laid down. I'm just going to do the same thing to the other eye. Just gonna place the color first where I want it, and then I'm just gonna diffuse it and concentrate that on the outer corner of the eye. That's one thing I do love about Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadows, is blending is so easy. I barely have to work at it. So I'm just concentrating that on the outer corner and bringing it just on the outer V here, but without elongating the shadow. I'm just gonna put a little, just a smidgen more on this eye just to balance it out with the other one. So you guys have probably noticed I have been barely uploading videos. There's been a lot that's been going on and hasn't been good things, so I'll go into that in another video. Don't want to bring the mood down for this beautiful holiday palette. Okay, then I'm going to, you can either just leave it like this, but I'm gonna use my Morphe M431 pencil brush, and I'm gonna dip into that matte red shade, and you know, I'm gonna drag it on the lash line, because you guys know how much I love doing that. I love myself a really good red shade. And by the way, I don't know if any of you are regular, like, smudgers, like, let me say that again. I don't know if you guys regularly smudge like eyeshadows under your lash line. It is not easy, and I have a really hard time doing it on camera without blinking. This area of my eye is so sensitive, and all I want to do is this the whole time. All right, now I'm gonna get a little bit more on the brush, and I am going to apply that just to this outer corner, because I really want to intensify the shade there. And then I'm gonna do the same thing to the other eye. Perfect. So all I did was just concentrated on the outer lash line there, and I did the same thing. I just smudged a little bit of it, but I had to angle my brush because if I do it this way, this brush goes up, so I'm not getting the color where I need it. So I have to angle it this way and kind of use it as I would a normal smudger brush, like, you know, the flatter ones, which I don't have one right now, which is why this is gonna have to do. Okay, now the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my ring finger. I'm gonna go back to that first shade right here, and I'm going to intensify this color. And I'm just gonna use my finger to apply it to that inner lid, just a little bit here. That looks beautiful. And this is one of those like special shades that you can, like when you use with your finger, like it just feels creamy. Goes like from cream, I don't know. I really don't know. It's like a creamy powder type of formula. See how that instantly intensified the look? All right, but it's intense and not in a weird metallic way. I have a mirror here in case you guys were wondering what I was looking at. Now I'm gonna go ahead and apply some mascara, eyeliner, all that jazz. I'm not gonna bore you with that. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the completed look. I applied the Pillow Talk lip liner to my outer corner lash line. I only did that halfway. I applied some mascara to my top and bottom lashes. I applied the Pillow Talk lip liner and the Pillow Talk lipstick. And then all I did was I used that same brush I had originally used to apply the first shade from Love Glow. And I just used it to soften out the edges, but I didn't apply any additional color. I applied some Charlotte Tilbury brow gel, and that's it. This is Love Glow. I really like how all the colors work together. I don't know. This is a really nice fall palette. I'm all about the Love Glow look. Okay. Now let's move on to Dream Glow, which is gonna be the purple series right here. And I'm gonna start off with that first shade and prime my lid with it. I'm gonna be using my Charlotte Tilbury blender brush. And by the way, in case you were wondering, my face products haven't changed, like foundation, setting powder, everything I mentioned at the beginning of the video has remained the same. So I don't want to bore you with having to repeat that every time I start a new look. All right, so this is a nice shade. It's similar to the Love Glow shade here, but it's less pink. The Love Glow one has a bit more of a rose gold effect to it, versus this has more of like a soft skin tone like effect. So just putting that all over the lid, and then I'm gonna go in with that second shade and I'm going to use that first as a transition shade. We'll see how dark it is. Let me just place the color. So I'm not gonna lie, this look, this Dream Glow look, was the one I was least excited about. I am not a huge fan of the pink and purple combination in a look. There's a backstory to that. Maria, if you're watching this, I know you're laughing right now. Okay, so many years ago, I had this Bare Minerals duo palette that had like 2 shades, and it was a pink and a purple shade. And I used that thing to death. Now, I don't know if it's that the palette like lasted forever. I don't know, but all I know is that ever since then, I've never been able to do the pink and purple combination again. So this is a really nice transition shade, and it's not purple. It's, well, it is purple, but it's not like what it looks like in the pan. It has more like a shifting effect to it, where it has this, like, I feel like there's like some brown in here. It's very different. I don't have a single color in my collection that looks like this color. So I am really pleased with this. Next, I'm gonna go in with the darkest shade in the Dream Glow look, and it's gonna be this deep purple. This, I'm telling you right now, this was the least exciting shade for me in the palette, so we'll see. But I bought it because when I swatch this color, it doesn't come up as purple as it does in the pan. It has like a very deep plum effect to it, and I'm always here for that kind of deep plum shade for the fall. So I'm just like tapping that color in the corner, and then with whatever is left in the brush, I'm kind of just like blending it out. And I'm not taking it all the way in. I'm really sorry for the background noise. My robot vacuum cleaner is currently on. So again, just concentrating that outside. And then just blending the rest of the color out. Okay, I think that is enough. Just blend. This needs a little bit of blending. I'm gonna go in with a clean brush. This is my Sigma E40 brush. It's clean, and I'm just going to soften these edges out here and the one on my crease. And then I had a little bit of skipping here. I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out. There we go. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with the smudger brush, and I'm gonna dip into that dark shade, and I'm gonna smudge that on the top lash line. I'm gonna need my other mirror that I have here on the side. You guys, I bought so much ground pumpkin spice coffee because I needed it to last me until New Year's. I mean, I like the winter. I think the only winter flavor I like is peppermint mocha, but not as much as I like pumpkin spice. So I really stocked up on that. And I have been drinking a lot of coffee. If you don't like really sweet coffee and you like something really balanced, I highly recommend the Starbucks pumpkin spice cold brew. That is delicious. That's, ask for it just how it comes, the pumpkin spice cold brew. You will remember me. I don't like iced coffee, but I will drink that all day, every day. Okay, so I have smudged that color just halfway along my lash line, and then I'm gonna smudge some underneath the eye, but I'm not gonna get any more product. I'm just gonna run this brush on the bottom, and I'm gonna bring it a little bit more than, like, not all the way in, but up to right there. It's a little bit more than half the eye. This is not a pleasant feeling. I'm gonna tell you right now. I think that once I smudge more eyeshadow under my eye, that this, I'm assuming this sensation will go away. It'll get easier, kind of like when you apply eyeliner. But man, is it hard. All right, so I've just smudged that, and I haven't brought it all the way into the corner. What I am gonna do though is I am gonna get my It Cosmetics smudger brush. This is another one that's flat. And I am gonna dip into that first shade. And I am going to apply that on this area that I didn't cover. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that I'm like making weird faces. I'm also trying not to cry, because if my eyes start to water now, it's gonna be a hot mess. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with my ring finger, and I'm gonna go into that first shade, and I'm going, like, first of all, let's just look at this for a second. Wait till you guys see the swatches of this, which, by the way, will be coming up. And I'm just gonna apply that to the inner portion of the lid. And then let's do the same thing to the other side. Okay. There's a fly in here. Or a moth. I'm not sure. Okay, by the way, if you guys ever like wanted to blend this with your finger, I'm also getting whatever's left, and I'm kind of just patting the tear duct area. If you guys, I think these shadows are actually so creamy that you may not need a brush. You can literally, unless like you're smudging your eyeshadow, I feel like you can apply these eyeshadows with your finger. So I applied some black eyeliner to my top lashes, some mascara to my top lashes, some brow gel, and I applied the Pillow Talk 2 lip liner and the Pillow Talk medium lipstick. I thought it would be appropriate for this amethyst look. If I don't know if the camera picks this up, but it actually comes out much more plum brown toned than the palette lets on to be. And I think these two shades, the two purple shades, were the ones that surprised me the most in this palette, because they really don't swatch or apply as purple and bright as they look in the pan. They actually come out to be much deeper than what they lit on to be. So this is the Dream Glow look. And then now let's go ahead and get started with the last look, which is Seduce Glow. All right, so let's start off with the first shade in Seduce Glow. And I'm gonna go ahead and apply that shade with just an IT Cosmetics shadow brush, just something flat. So this is the deepest of all the trios in this palette. Again, just applying that shade very lightly all over the lid. And then I'm doing the same thing to the other side. I'm really just buffing it out just to get an even wash of color all over the lid. Then I'm gonna go in with the blender brush. In case you guys were wondering, I use the Sephora color switch, and that's how I clean my brushes in between looks. So I'm gonna go into that second shade, which is a very deep matte brown. These shades have little to no fallout, in case you guys were wondering. But this matte shade is super dark. Look, I literally just tap the color, like you can see how much pigment there is there. So I gotta be really light-handed with that color. If not, it's gonna be pretty hard to fix later on. So it did blend out super easily. So it's just as good as all the other shades. Now let's do the same thing to the other eye. All right, so have you guys purchased your Christmas trees already? I do a natural tree every year just because I like the smell of pine in the house. But most of my family members have the fake Christmas trees. And they look just as pretty, honestly. Okay, so I've used that as the transition shade, and now I'm gonna go into the last shade right here, which is technically supposed to be the smoke shade. And I'm gonna go ahead and apply that to the outer corners. Just kind of place that color and blend it out. Now I'm gonna drag that color just right here in the corner of the eye, just so there's no blank space, because this is technically supposed to be a smoky, seductive look, hence the name is Seduce Glow, I'm sorry. And I'm just blending that out. And then I'm just going into the crease with it, just the outer crease. Then I'm gonna use my smudger brush, and I can't speak today. Again, I'm gonna go into that last shade. Well, I guess I have to hold the palette like this. That last shade, and I'm gonna smudge that color all over my lash line, but I'm gonna drag it all the way across. So I'm just gonna look at my mirror here just to make sure that it's even, because my viewfinder is pretty small, and although I got the LASIK, it's not that good. Okay, so I dragged that all across the top lash line. Again, this is a smoky look. I have to kind of hold and stretch my eye to do this so that I don't get any skipping. Okay, then I'm gonna get more, and I'm just going to concentrate that on the outer portion of the eye. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. Okay, then I'm gonna get whatever's left on the brush, and I'm going to drag that all over the lower lash line. Such an unpleasant feeling. I don't know how people do this on a daily basis. Okay. All right. I'm gonna grab my finger. I'm gonna dip into that first shade right here, and I'm gonna run that. Oh my gosh, look at that color. I'm gonna run that on the center and inner portion of the lid. Then I'm gonna do the same thing to the other eye. This is a really beautiful bronzy, coppery type of look. I mean, look at that. Look at that color. The camera's not picking this up, but there's so much dimension to these these special shades here. I just love it. I can't wait for you guys to see the swatches. I hope that the camera's gonna pick up, you know, some of that dimension. All right, so this is the completed look. I applied black eyeliner. I attempted to do a little wing on the outside. They're not even. I suck at wing liner. But you know, I put in some effort. I did put some mascara on my lower lash line, and for lipstick, I don't have the new red lipstick that Charlotte Tilbury launched this fall. I wanted to get it, but it never came to Sephora or Nordstrom or any other retailer. It was an exclusive to Charlotte Tilbury, and I just didn't pick it up. So the closest red I had to that beautiful brick red, it is on my wish list. I do still want that lipstick. I just have put it on my Christmas wish list, so we'll see what's gonna happen. Is the Chanel Rouge Allure Velvet number 58 Rouge V. This lipstick is, I have it, it's in a limited edition packaging. I did buy it off of the Chanel website. I'm not sure if this color is still available in this particular packaging, but I know this color is available on the Chanel website in case you guys wanted to pick it up. But yeah, I think that this is the most smoky, most seductive look out of all of the 4 looks we have, I've done today, and it just, I think a red lip was warranted. So yeah, let me zoom you guys in a little bit, and this is the completed look. Now let's get into my overall thoughts and some swatches. All right, so let's get to my overall thoughts on this palette. First of all, I love the packaging. The packaging is just absolutely gorgeous. Look at all those little holographic little diamonds with the bronze gold packaging. So I love that. And the packaging itself of the palette is nice. I just wish that this silver would have been that holographic style, that same holographic style that was on the box, but it's not. It's really just like silvery flecks, kind of, for it to look like a diamond, but there aren't any holographic effects to it, in case you guys were wondering. The packaging is very sturdy, just like her other 12 pan palettes. The other thing that I absolutely love is the new formula of these shades. Now when you pick up this palette, instantly you're gonna be able to see the shades that are special. We've got 1, 2, so it'd be the last color in the Happy Glow trio, the first color in the Love Glow, and the first color in Dream Glow, and I believe these 2 shades right here. You can see it in the pan. The actual texture of these shadows are different, and I believe that this center shade 2 in the Love Glow palette is one of those special formulas. You can definitely see the texture on the shadow when the light hits it. You can really tell the difference between those and the rest of the shadows. I'm not sure if all of the shimmery shades here are that special formula, because they seem to have a different effect than the other shades. Like I said, I really was, when this palette launched, I really didn't think much of it. I wasn't gonna purchase it. I just didn't call my attention, you know. I don't like a lot of shimmery shades. I tend to, one shimmery shade's okay as a pop shade, but too many, it's not something I gravitate towards. I like way more like matte or satin shades. That's something I really like. But if we're gonna compare it to her Pillow Talk Instant Eye Palette, it's quite similar in the sense where it kind of looks obviously like the holiday version of the Pillow Talk palette. That's the vibe I kind of get from it. So this is mostly mattes and this is mostly shimmery shades. So I kind of want to show them to you side by side. Let's see how I'm going to be able to do that. So on the bottom we have the Pillow Talk palette, and on the top we have the Bejewelled palette. So I'm sorry for the lighting. It's getting pretty crazy over here. It's gonna rain pretty hard. So I was blown away by the dimensions of the shimmery shades. So what you see in the pan when you swatch this, you have like, they almost, some of them even look like a tri-colored type of eyeshadow, because I feel like there's 3 different tones in there, especially this first shade in Seduce Glow. This one right here. That shade, wow. And this third shade here in Happy Glow. Those two shades, to me, I feel like have 3 colors in one. I love the way that this works on the eye. They don't come out like you're a disco ball. Like, they're not metallic shades and they're not glittery shades. They do have a satin finish to it, and they're very soft, and the way that they layer upon each other is very smooth, and you create a look that is not what you're expecting. Every single look I did with this palette was not what I expected when I look at these shades in the pan. So that's why when I went into the store and I got the brush swatches, because a lot of people are talking about this, is finger swatches are, you know, the color is more intensified, and that's not how you're gonna apply it to the eye. Chances are you're gonna use that brush because you wanna blend it out. So I think that when you go to the store and you get the brush swatches of this, you're gonna really understand what I'm talking about. And I don't think I have ever been this surprised in a palette, ever. Usually when I buy a palette, I expect to get what I'm looking at in the pan, and this is not it. I feel like when you wear it, it's just 10 times better. That's just my opinion. So if there's one palette that I'm gonna recommend for this fall season, that's something different, something you don't already have in your collection, would be these. There are about 4 to 5 shades I don't have in my collection in this palette, and that would be this shade right here, which is the last shade in Happy Glow, the center shade in Love Glow, these 2 shades, these 2 purple shades in Dream Glow, and these 2 shimmery shades in Seduce Glow. They're just unique. I definitely will only be pulling this out during the fall season. I don't quite see myself wearing this any other time of the year, because these shades, you know, just have that kind of tone, that kind of vibe. So anyways, I highly recommend this palette. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys had an amazing Thanksgiving, and see you next time, guys. Bye.